Welcome to Men of the West, a podcast forged in the fire of history's defining moments, where we honor the valor, wisdom, and unyielding spirit of the great men who shaped our civilization. Here, we explore not only the thunder of battles, but also the pivotal events and timeless lessons that echo through the ages. With reverence, we stand in the shadow of our forebears, drawing from their triumphs and trials to lead ourselves into the future with courage and purpose. Today, we journey to the rugged mountains of Asturias, to the dawn of the 8th century, where one man's defiance lit a flame of hope. This is the story of Pelayo and the Battle of Covadonga, the spark of the Reconquista. In the early 700s, the Iberian Peninsula lay under a shadow. The Umayyad Caliphate, sweeping north from Africa, had crushed the Visigothic kingdom in mere years. By 718, most of Spain was under Muslim rule, its cities and plains subdued. But in the jagged peaks of Asturias, a flicker of resistance burned. Pelayo, a Visigothic nobleman, refused to yield. Exiled to the mountains after his king's fall, he rallied a band of warriors, farmers, shepherds, and soldiers united by faith and defiance. They numbered no more than a few hundred, perhaps as few as 300, against an Umayyad force that dwarfed them. The Umayyads, led by Governor Munuza, sought to snuff out this rebellion before it could spread. They dispatched a formidable army, likely thousands strong, under General Al-Qama to crush Pelayo. The Muslims marched into the narrow valley of Covadonga, a fortress of steep cliffs and dense forests, where Pelayo had chosen his ground. Legend holds that Pelayo, atop a ridge, raised his sword and declared, "Our hope is in Christ. This mountain will be the salvation of Spain." His words were a vow, etched in the stone of those peaks. The battle erupted with ferocity. Pelayo's men, perched on high ground, hurled stones and arrows upon the Umayyad troops, who faltered in the valley's tight confines. The Muslims, accustomed to open conquest, were unprepared for the guerrilla tactics of these mountain warriors. Pelayo, in simple armor, fought at the forefront, his presence a beacon of resolve. As the Umayyads pressed forward, the terrain turned traitor. Boulders, dislodged by the defenders, crashed down, sowing chaos. Some chronicles speak of a sudden storm, torrents of rain swelling the river Deva, breaking the invaders' spirit. The tide turned when Pelayo's men ambushed a flanking Umayyad force. Al-Qama fell, struck down in the fray, and panic seized the Muslim ranks. What began as an advance dissolved into a rout. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, perished in the valley, or fled, harried by Pelayo's warriors. When the dust settled, Covadonga stood as a graveyard for the invaders, and a birthplace for hope. The Battle of Covadonga was small in scale, but seismic in impact. Pelayo's victory shattered the myth of Umayyad invincibility. From this stand, the Kingdom of Asturias was born, a Christian stronghold that became the cradle of the Reconquista, the centuries-long struggle to reclaim Iberia. Over 700 years, the spark at Covadonga grew into a fire that drove Muslim forces from Spain, culminating in Granada's fall in 1492. This was no mere campaign, it was a defining chapter in preserving Western Christian civilization, ensuring Europe's cultural and spiritual heritage endured. What then can we, as men of the West, learn from Covadonga? Pelayo's stand teaches us the power of defiance against overwhelming odds. He was no king with vast armies, but a man with a vision, fueled by faith and love for his people. His courage shows that even when the world seems lost, a single act of resistance can alter history's course. For us, Covadonga is a call to stand firm, whether defending our values, our families, or our way of life. It urges us to choose our ground, fight with ingenuity, and trust that our actions, however small, can ignite a greater movement. Covadonga's effects on Western civilization are profound. It preserved a Christian foothold in Europe, laying the foundation for the Middle Ages' cultural and intellectual flourishing. The Reconquista shaped Spain's identity, and Spain carried the West's legacy to the New World. Pelayo's defiance ensured our heritage's light was not extinguished, a legacy we are called to uphold with unyielding spirit. That's all for this episode of Men of the West. If Pelayo's stand at Covadonga stirred your soul, join us next time as we honor another hero or moment from our past. Share your thoughts or suggest a battle or event.